in their bowler, 37th this evening. Not bad. So it was a bit of a blustery start out there today. A lot of encouragement, particularly for Nasser Al-Attiyah, who we've already seen. The trinkets are on sale. They get cheaper the closer you come to departure point. You sort of start off at about £5 and end up at about 50p. Yeah, I know it's cruel, but 50p, can't argue. There it is. Look at these. Look at the sights that we had today. The mountains and the odd bit of water as well. Thankfully, this wasn't on course, just sort of slightly off to one side. It was dry out there. May well have been dusty. The sandstorm didn't help. And we were off. We were underway. And somewhere in all kinds of bother. The 03 car of Carlos Sainz was getting bedded down again and again and again. Lack of experience, perhaps. Reading the dunes is oh so important. That's why Atar finished 4th today in the BMW. He just knows the way the wind's blowing where it's blown before. You can tell by how much camel grass is exposed, just where the hard stuff is and the soft stuff. It's something that only comes with experience. Carlos Sainz has got lots of experience. It just doesn't happen to be in Dakar racing. Okay, he's been here before, but he's still learning. I think one day you're looking at a champion here, but he's on the slide. Sainz today finishing in 7th spot, tumbles down the ranking to 4th position. Having led, he now trails by an hour and 5 minutes. Tough on everybody. Well, those 200 kilometres of dunes, even Al-Attiyah, as you can see, had a bit of remodelling at the front end, bouncing into the soft stuff. Some of the rocks kicking up as well. Didn't seem to hamper proceedings for him. He was bouncing along nicely, as we said, picking his way through the dunes. The BMW finishing in 4th place. Lead BM that he is in 5th. That's an amazing performance from a modestly funded crew compared to the Mitsubishis and the Volkswagens. BMW still on that learning curve themselves, and well, a load of experience. Maybe they'll just step up to the plate fairly soon. I had them down as dark horses, BMW. Al-Attiyah is the man that remains. Well, picking your way around the dunes. No, don't like the look of that, says Alphonse. Well, he's had a bit of a nervy time of late. Just has a look at beached Volkswagens and decides to give Mitsubishi a better chance of things. Alphonse finished in 3rd place today. Not as good as Pederhansel, who finished ahead of him. And as you can see, everyone had their moments in the soft stuff. It really was a huge sand bowl out there, and it was eating them up. Sainz had been stuck earlier, going by, kicking sand in the face of the 00 car. Well, the auto jacks, you've got to have a firm footing for them to get in. That's it, fill in the hole that remains. Adjust the tyre pressures manually. No auto inflate or deflation systems allowed now. Well, it's tough out there. It's so soft. Carlos got stuck, but I didn't find any better conditions. It's a really difficult stage. Well, we knew that. Alphonse back underway, racing to try and find some firmer stuff for the co-driver to come back at him. Look at the speeds that they were maintaining today. It was technical on occasion, flat out on others, and then dead stop in other parts. Stefan Pederhansel was picking his way through brilliantly. He finished in 2nd spot behind Giniel de Villiers, who was just so masterful out there for Volkswagen. Pederhansel, though, and Mitsubishi are on the march here. Half an hour down overall, Stefan Pederhansel. He looks purposeful. He knows that de Villiers can't afford to make a single mistake. He's chasing. He's the hound, not the hare, and he likes it. No stage win yet for Stefan Pederhansel, but the push is on. Closest he got to de Villiers during the stage, 5 minutes behind him. In the end, 6 minutes and 35 seconds adrift of de Villiers' winning time. Take nothing away from the South African. He's out here for victory. Well, he's had more Dakars than Carlos Sainz. More experience means a calmer run. Just almost looks blank, doesn't it? Amazing. Car just suddenly kicking up, and you can see how stable the vehicle maintains itself, even in flight. fabulous machine. Gilles de Villiers in his hands, it's amazing. Local water truck just moving out of the way for the competitors. De Villiers just so cool today, all on his lonesome, and top of the rankings now by over half an hour. Can Peter Hansel catch him? One puncture could do it, you never know. Well, if you're going to get stuck somewhere reasonably stable. That's exactly what happened to Matsuoka. Unfortunately for him, big mechanical problems. Third time that he's lost his clutch here. And don't forget, it's on his 20th Dakar, so it can't be driving style. It's obviously the weak point of the Mitsubishis. We saw Peter Hansel with clutch problems. Carlos Sousa seems to have made friends with his co-driver. They're back together, working reasonably well. You know, to me, Portuguese sounds like Russian, and there's no way that any of us can understand it here, so apologies for that. Well, Sousa today, Sousa and Schultz finishing in 10th position. What might have been had they not had their troubles losing each other the other day? Was there or was there not an argument? They say not, we say maybe. Schlesser, well, it wasn't a day to entirely suit him. Doesn't like the soft stuff. Only two-wheel drive, don't forget. When it opens up, he's unbeatable. Well, those 200 kilometres of dunes out of more than 500 out there. And Schlesser, well, he did enough on the fast stuff to get himself 6th place. 6th in the overall rankings, but 2 hours down now. It's not going to be victory for Schless, not this year anyway. Isabelle Petissier, former free climbing champion. Here's the Sentinel going off. And one of the yellow Oscar cars from Latvia Riga Motorsport coming by. Remaining focused. Sounds like she's got all kinds of drivetrain troubles there. And the Latvians skipping by. They must have had their own troubles a bit later on, because can't find them in the rankings, just for now anyway. Not easy, says Rennie Metch. Not easy at all, with all those stones and the soft stuff. Cinderlay Wade, Senegalese president's daughter, was here. Not her first, I think it's her third Dakar, in fact. Everyone just trying to bring the vehicles home so they can work on them overnight and then do the business tomorrow with a bit of luck. They'll need a lot. As we said, spare them a few thoughts when you're tucked up in your warm bed tonight. The desert gets very cold out there, and some of them only come in with enough time to grab a coffee and start again. So, no bike results, but car results for you. De Villiers then taking it, and their masterful drive today. Peter Hansel closing the gap. No, it's not closing the gap overall, but at least closing down on him. And it's Mitsubishi's 2 and 3 in the ranking now, with Alfond up to 3rd. Sainz on the tumble.
In the beginning, it was very, very slowly in the rocks. And the first dunes were really, really soft. Unlike they said in the briefing, you know, in the briefing they said the second dunes were very soft, but the first dunes were very soft. So we stopped to deflate for the second dunes after we nearly got stuck on the first ones. And then the second ones, I mean, it was really easy to pass. But the driving was really difficult, a lot of steering to do in the rocks.
Well, very, very soft. There was 25 kilometres which were really unbelievable, and we got a couple of punctures, got stuck once, losing a lot of time. Afterwards, we only had one spare tyre left to do more than 500 kilometres, so we went really carefully today after the first 25 kilometres. It was just a matter of surviving, he says. Well, that was Peter Hansel. In case I said Luc Alfond, here is Luc with the Beard, Postiche as he calls it, arrived here. He says marathon stage, car was in good condition, got one puncture, got stuck twice, so inflating and deflating. We stopped about 5 times on the special just to change pressures. Track was long, physically demanding, a lot of corners as well on the technical stuff. The sandy parts not extremely difficult, but it was quite soft out there, he says.